Okay, we're here at, you can see the sign, Corriganville Park, so this proves that I was where they used to run the incredibly famous Corriganville Grand Prix in the 60s and the 70s. I'm here at Corriganville Park. Back in the 40s, a guy named Ray Crash Corrigan was a movie actor stuntman, that's why the name Crash. Bought this whole area outside of Simi Valley. I don't know how many hundred of acres it was, but he purpose-built a couple of western main streets, an Apache village, some caves, an outlaw hideout, and you could come out here with your movie studio guys and shoot westerns out here in Corriganville. And so from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, this was, I mean, they shot some Star Trek episodes here, anyway, a lot of stuff. But every year they had this big motorcycle race here. And my dad would bring me here from like 67 through 71, 72. I actually watched John Hately, who was my flat track motorcycle racing hero in the 70s, come here about 70, 71 and just smoke the field on his 500cc Triumph dirt bike, which, odd. Just smoked the field and won. And I stood right over there on that hill when they came over the horizon and went around the canyon and watched John Hately win the race here. So I've been here when all the sets were here and everything. There was a big fire in 1970 which damaged stuff in the far end. Didn't hurt the place really. And then they put a freeway, you might even be able to hear it, right across the back end there, which kind of damaged some of it. But what killed this place finally was in 79, Bob Hope had actually bought this place out and it became Hopetown after Crash Corrigan. I think he died or he just got too old. But in 1979 they had a big fire and it wiped everything out, everything gone. You can still see some foundations of stuff. The lake is still here, it's dried up. But the lake, they used to have a lake here and they had a big bunker that went down into the lake, well, pond. And you could set your camera up in these plexiglass windows and you could get underwater shots if you needed them for your western or whatever. That actually, the foundation for the lake is still there, but everything else is gone. Part of the bunker is still there. Anyway, it's now 2008. I haven't been here since 71, 72, something like that. And most of it is pretty torn up. Most of it's pretty gone. But the Stagecoach Road, the big famous overhanging rock is still there. I found the mud hole. I just had to come back here and see this one more time. It's pretty overgrown. They turned it into a state park and you can ride your bikes or hike or whatever. But the way it was when we used to come here is pretty much gone. I still see things that I remember. It's very cool. My wife is down in the van with her mom, but it's very cool to see that and be here one more time. So, okay, little history. Now you know. All right, where I'm kneeling right now was the big Corriganville mud hole. This oak tree right here, this is the backdrop. This is full of mud about this high. The motorcycles came right through here, right through the mud, and out the other side that way. So I am actually standing, or kneeling, in the Corriganville, famous Corriganville mud hole back in the 60s and 70s. It took me a while to find it. There's not much here anymore. But this is the mud hole. I'm actually standing in the Corriganville mud hole. Pretty cool. All right, I am now around and past the mud hole. This is what's left of the Stagecoach Road. There's the hillside, and the bikes went right along through here and eventually came out over the opening, like that little canyon. This is what's left of it. We're actually on the Stagecoach Road as I'm walking. All right, the bikes would have, I haven't seen this yet, the bikes would have come up the hill. At the top of the hill it would drop down and make a hard right and you'd be at the canyon area where the Stagecoach drama was always filmed. I'm hoping part of it is still there. All right, when they cleared the top of the hill, this path was not here. They came down through here, and actually when I watched John Hately win his race, I was standing right about behind that bush right there. I was standing right in that area right there. They came down, made the right-hand corner, and they went along this canyon rim, which that tree is right on the edge of it. It drops way off right there. They went around behind the hill, back over here. There's a little S-bend. They came back around. See that big boulder? That is a famous boulder. It appears in all the photos. And they came along the ridgeline, went all the way down to where that dirt road is down there, and then they went back behind the trees back there, back that way. These trails and stuff, they weren't there. They went along by those bushes and back over there, and they came around and then they went out that way. That boulder, that's important for me to see. Alrighty, this race that I've used these clips from was actually 1967. That's the year the Europeans came to Corriganville and just spanked us. I was at this race. My father brought me, as he did every year, and we were standing actually at the top of this hill in the right-hand corner watching the event. I remember being amazed at how good they were, but also irritated that they could blow the American riders off so easily. I mean, they had a huge, huge lead. It was Torsten Hallman, Roger DeCoster, Joel Robert, and a couple others, and Torsten Hallman ended up winning the race. But I got to feel my dates wrong. I was actually here for the first time in 1965. That was the first time my father brought me. This race, as I said, was 1967, and I believe John Hately actually won his 500cc race in 1974 or 1975, I forget. So I'd been coming to this race basically for 10 years. My father actually ran this race one year. My father was a desert motorcycle racer, and he came and ran this race once, and I believe he got a top 10. I think 7th or 8th is where he finished in his race. So anyway, this is my little tribute to Corriganville. I love this place. Every year when my dad would tell me, hey, Corriganville's coming up, or Hopetown as it became known, I was always totally excited. Just really enjoyed coming to this place. It was fun going back there again, and so here's my little tribute to Corriganville. And, now you know. Have a little mud in your face. There you go, right about now.